Hello and welcome to the Secret Agents of Consciousness podcast. My name is Genevieve Faulkner, your host, and if you're watching this on YouTube, hi! So today I wanted to talk to you guys about sexual energy, sexuality, and how that can either dynamically increase your receiving and create more for you financially, or limit your receiving, depending on which way you're kind of going. I just did like a awesome session with a client that I have that was about expanding his business, but what we actually ended up talking about was sex. And it was a fun twist, but what if it all actually ties together? So what if the judgments that you have eliminate the receiving that you could have that would allow you to create greater in your life and in your business? So something that I was talking about during that session was the construct of sexuality. Now, sexuality is basically a series or set of judgments that people have designed to determine who or what they're willing to receive from. So in Access Consciousness, in the foundation class, we talk about like the difference between kind of functioning in this reality, which is where people tend to have thoughts, feelings, emotions, sex and no sex, or being an infinite being, which is where people will know, perceive, and receive. And so sex is actually the lower harmonic of receiving. So in this reality, sexuality determines who you're willing to kind of receive from based upon the energy of like, would you be willing to actually have sex with someone, right? It sounds a little bit weird. And I'll try and explain it in a way that hopefully will make sense to people and hopefully will unravel some stuff for you guys. But basically, what have you defined your sexuality to be? Okay, so if you've decided that you are, for example, like a straight woman, what you do is you decide that you'll only receive sexual energy from straight men, okay? Whereas if you don't have a point of view, if you're not functioning from those definitions or identity, what if you could actually receive the energy, like sexual energy, from everyone? Now, sexual energy doesn't mean that you're going to go and jump into bed with someone. But in this reality, it seems to be all entangled and like tied together. And people get very confused. They think that if they receive sexual energy from someone, it means that, you know, there's a sexual attraction or they're going to end up having sex with that person. What if it's not true? What if that is actually part of who we truly be? So sexual energy is actually the energy of living. It's actually like this caring, nurturing, healing, expansive, joyful, playful, orgasmic energy that we all be, that often throughout our lives, we start to cut down based upon the judgments that other people have and what we've decided is wrong or right to be, or who we've decided it's like right or wrong to be that energy with. So maybe you've noticed, like little children, if you've spent any time with little kids, they have a lot of sexual energy. They're so like bouncy. They're like always moving their bodies. They're like very joyful, very playful, just very alive and kind of like turned up. But what often happens is that energy, the energy of living, can kind of like turn your body on. And so within the like construct of sexuality, often what happens is like parents will feel weird about receiving like that energy because they'll have their own judgments about sexual energy, which again is not about copulation. And so then often they'll judge the kids for being too much energy, and then the children will then decide that they have to shut their energy down and be less in order to receive like validation, approval, or love from their parent. or other adults, because most adults aren't really truly being the intensity of the sexual energy that they truly could be. They're not really like truly receiving from everything and being everything that they could be. And so what would it be like if you were willing to be that? So what would it be like if you didn't shut down that energy? So you might want to kind of look at your own life and look at, okay, was there a time where I was judged as being too much? Did my parents get irritated at me for being too bouncy, too happy, too joyful, too playful, or even too sexual? Little kids like to experiment and play with their bodies a lot. They often don't have a lot of points of view about being naked. I've got 2 young kids myself, so they like to explore their bodies. And if you had parents that were uncomfortable, they may have had some judgments, and that may have got directed at you at some point in time, and you may have gone into the wrongness of that. And so you might want to look at, like, where have you shut down your sexual energy? And what if you kind of acknowledge that, you can actually start to reclaim and own and choose to be everything that you are beyond that. Because as I said, it's a very healing, nurturing, caring energy. It actually contributes so much to your body to be that energy. And if you're in the healing profession, that is what will contribute to you being like a dynamic healer of other people. The more sexual energy you're willing to have, the less judgment or the less sexuality you're willing to function from. And so you can contribute to so many more and different kinds of people, because you don't have the walls in place created by the sexuality that stops you from being able to, like, receive and also gift whatever is required in those sessions. So something I kind of wanted to, like, if you wanted to unravel this area and kind of turn things up for yourself and look at, like, because this ties into, like, money and stuff as well. Like, I've spoken a little bit about money on these podcasts, and basically, like, the more you're willing to include your body in your reality, the more money you can create and actualize, because there's no point having money if you don't have a body. And so the more kind of, like, alive you're willing to be based upon the sexual energy that you be, the more alive your body is, and the more that kind of allows you to create and actualize more money. But only if you're willing to receive the points of view that other people have about, like, their judgment, because, well, their judgments of sexuality and everything else that they may have. Because if you're not willing to receive that, you'll actually go into aligning and agreeing, resisting and reacting to whatever they've decided is too much, and you'll start to shut yourself down again, and that will, like, limit your financial reality or your business. So something you can do is you can start to look at, like, as I said, like, sex is the lower harmonic of receiving. And so you can start to, like, if you wanted to unravel the construct of sexuality in your world, you could look at, like, who or what have you decided you're willing to have sex with, which is who or what have you decided you're willing to receive from, and who or what have you decided you're not willing to receive from. And you can use the Access Consciousness clearing statement to clear everything that comes up in regards to that areas. Like, are you willing to receive from, like, men, for example, straight men? Are you willing to receive from gay men? Are you willing to receive from straight women? Are you willing to receive from gay women? Like, what are you willing to receive from kids? Are you willing to receive from older people? Or, like, there's so many different things that we've decided, like, we can or we can't receive from. And what if, like, that didn't exist? What would it be like if you could receive energetically with no point of view from everyone? When you're willing to be that, when you're willing to have no judgment of receiving and of sexual energy, it creates this place where you can be the space of allowance that kind of melts other people's points of view and all the judgment they have of themselves for all of the things they've decided is terrible and wrong and bad about them, or like too perverted and dirty, that then like allows their worlds to explode and expand and like be greater. So what contribution could you be to the world just by having no point of view about sexual energy, about what it's right or wrong to be or do, what it's right or wrong to receive? Like what invitation can you be to the space of communion, having no separation with anything, creating a world where it's like inclusive and, you know, your choices create greater for everyone by eliminating the constructs of sexuality in your life. So it's a bit of a big conversation and it's a big topic. And I don't know if I'm explaining it that well, but hopefully it contributes to you. If you want a greater business, look at who or what you're not willing to receive from. Look at the points of view you have about what receiving a particular energy would mean. Look at like the judgments you have about sex, which is the lower harmonic of receiving. And what if you didn't have any point of view about it? What if you could be the space of allowance? What if there was no right or wrong? So how much fun could you have? Because here's the thing is like, and I said like you've got to be willing to receive the judgments that other people have, because here's the thing. Most people have shut down their bodies so dynamically because they're not actually willing to include their bodies in their life and be aware of what their bodies require. And so they're shutting out all of that sexual energy that would truly allow their bodies to be alive and turned on and like just, you know, like enjoying living. That if you're being like this, you know, highly sexual just being that's just loving life and like turned on, turned up, you know, enjoy like just having a pleasurable existence, a lot of people won't be able to handle that. And so you've got to be willing to receive all of those judgments that they have. What if you didn't make that matter anymore? Like what if you could be the hedonist that you truly be and just like create a life that's joyful, playful, expansive, and fun for you? So what if that wasn't wrong? And what if it wasn't selfish? What if that actually contributes to the planet to be that? What if when you choose to be happy and joyful and playful, it's something that allows like more space for the planet? Like how many unhappy people are on this planet? How much separation is there? How much misery and suffering is there? What gift can you be by actually enjoying being you, enjoying being with your body, enjoying receiving sexual energy from everything? And I mean from the earth as well. Like what if you could actually receive the sexual energy that the earth has? What contribution could that be to your world? What contribution can it be to the earth? Because when you're willing to actually receive something from someone, you're being a gift. Okay? From no point of view, you are being a gift. That actually allows them to expand or to be greater or to just like be, you know, joyful, happy. Like it creates more of a contribution in their world. And so if you're willing to function from the place of no wrongness, no rightness around sexuality, no definition of what you are, and have no point of view about receiving any kind of energy from anyone, including the earth, like what could that create for this planet? What would it be like if we didn't have any kind of separation? So if you want to unravel this topic, I did do a money series a while ago where reclaiming your capacities to create money. And one of the calls on that, like it was a 6-part call, but one of the calls on that, it went through like really kind of stepping into being the sexual energy that you truly be, unraveling the judgments that you have around sex, copulation, you know, all of the stuff that you haven't been willing to receive or that you've decided is right and wrong to receive. So if you do want to kind of step into more and allow your business to grow, and you want to clear those judgments. Because when you've got those judgments in place about like, it's right to be something, or it's wrong, or ew, I'm not going to do that, you actually eliminate receiving from the people that enjoy doing whatever that is. And so then it makes it harder for them to come and buy things from you or contribute to your business. And so the more you don't have a point of view about anything, the more people can actually come to your business, and the more your business can grow. So if you want to check that out, there will be a link below this video or below this podcast for you to check that out if you want to expand into more and actually like live a hedonistic, pleasurable life. So I hope this has contributed to you guys. If it has, please do leave a comment. If you have any questions, leave questions too. If there are other topics that you would like me to talk about, either on YouTube or on the podcast, just send me a message or leave a comment below. Thanks, guys. I'll see you later. Bye.